I like your doll.
And Baron.
Much. And if you can't, you'll get used to it.
Imperial labor camp instead. Get the exact coordinates to that. Was the best I could do on short notice. No, but he's... Now start! You've been there before.
Any...
Yes. We're going to need Imperial clearout. You can. And for impersonating
Admiral?
where you've been doing.
It's time for your sample, Omega.
But they are well... to keep their minds active. Scientist.
What about the Trippers? Do they
We're never going home.
hunt him before?
Really?
I'm doing it again. Stay out of the vault. It's the droids used to transport our sample.
Episode 13 of Season 3 of Star Wars, The Bad Batch, Into the Breach, charges on with its climactic scene, in which Clone Force 99 hooks up with the former Admiral Rampart to locate Omega. When Omega awakens in her prison, she decides to find some new acquaintances. Eva, the girl who attempted to become friends with Emery Carr in Episode 10, Identity Crisis, is the person she goes to see. In the episode, Eve received a Lula toy from Emery, which she is still clutching onto. Jax approaches to join him, as do the other children. The infant that Cad Bane abducted from his mother in Episode 10 is named Bayern, and Sammy is the Pantoran. Omega is attempting to ascertain from them the extent to which the scientists, droids, and guards observe them. It's a poor response. It's hard to prepare for escape since the youngsters are continually under observation. We make our way over to the defunct Kaminoan testing grounds from Season 1. Because he's being a stickler for rules and doesn't appreciate being held captive, Rampart is having a tantrum. He has imparted to them all of his knowledge of Tantus. But the batch doesn't let go of him until they get the precise location. Arriving on a pilfered Imperial shuttle loaded with necessary supplies is Echo. Now that Echo is here and they need to dock with a certain station above Coruscant, the gang asks Rampart once more. To go to Tantus, the directions will enter directly into their navigator. Echo verifies half of Rampart's tale, but they are unsure about the accuracy of the other half. In any case, they devise a strategy to enter, with Rampart playing a crucial role. The batch is his security detail, so he may enter the station with ease. Rampart is displeased with him for disguising him in a captain's uniform. I was a vice admiral, he snidely responds. His irritation is unimportant to any of the batch as they continue on their task. Emery is collecting Omega's blood sample back on Tantus. Omega takes a tool off of Emery's tray and tucks it up her sleeve while she's preoccupied. It becomes evident that Omega is beginning to formulate a strategy as the music swells with a more upbeat tone. It should be emphasized, though, that this scenario might be seen as Emery handing Omega the tool. It's not entirely apparent if Emery is being helpful. Remember that for next episodes. Omega approaches the other children and begins to interrogate them. When are the robots coming to collect their vital signs? Do the soldiers enter the space? She informs them that she has climbed this peak previously. With all the children in tow, Omega intends to storm out of here. The children's rooms have wall panels with tubes inside of them. She desires to access the tubes in order to follow their path. She needs this knowledge in order to finish her escape plan. All the other kids will do is provide her with a diversion. Emery is questioned by Dr. Scalder, a previous season scientist, over Omega's permission to interact with the other children. Emery pulls rank on her and shuts her down swiftly. Returning to the batch, they attempt to fit in by painting and removing the designs on their armor. It's time to begin the mission when they reach the station over Coruscant. While Rampart goes with Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo, Wrecker remains on board the ship. The hangar master meets them upon a way and observes that the armor on the batch isn't normal, as well as that this is an unauthorized landing. Like the pompous Imperial he is, Rampart charges in, saying that everything is secret and that if there is an issue, it can be discussed with Tarkin. The hangar master is quiet now, They make their way to the control room via the uneasy corridors of the station. After they stealthily enter the space, Echo starts searching for the Tantus codes. But the hangar master from before isn't finished yet. He goes back to their ship and confronts Wrecker. It looks to him that their ship has been taken. Wrecker then puts him to sleep and alerts the others. Once Echo enters the system, he discovers a scientific vessel bound for Tantus. Still, there's an issue. Not as soon as they had planned, but only after launch, the spacecraft will get the coordinates. Hunter wishes to enter the ship covertly. Rampart did not agree to it, particularly because the ship will be subject to additional security. Echo understands he can enter the ship covertly. In order for Hunter's shuttle to connect to the scientific ship and take a journey to Tantus, he will board it and turn off the proximity alarms. The squad divides up and heads for the riskiest portion of the strategy thus far. Omega is prepared to carry out her plan, hoping to return to the children on Tantus. But Skalda, who had previously questioned Emery, sees the children glancing at one another with suspicion. She goes into the vault head first. Before Skalda gets there, Omega manages to remove one of the panels in order to see up the tube shaft and puts it back on. After Skalda departs, Omega returns to the children. She's managed to get away. Returning with the batch, Echo climbs up the droid loading hatch, climbs on board the scientific vessel, and dodges a clone commando's notice. Hunter takes off with their shuttle and speeds toward the research ship. As Echo begins to turn off the scientific ship's sensors, the Imperials are able to detect his movements on the bridge. They descend to investigate. The trooper is stunned by Echo, who then gives the bridge the all-clear. He intervenes at the last second to turn off the scientific ship's proximity sensors. At last, Hunter secures his shuttle to the vessel, and they are traveling to Tantus by hitchhiking. This is the final scene of Into the Breach.